What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Zeal Cigar review. And I'm a little bit late, but the first Friday of this month was another Privada Cigar Club LCA launch. And this month was the Oddjob. Now, if this cigar looks familiar, it's probably because that gold flake on the wrapper looks exactly like something from Cavalier. Well, that's because this cigar was made by Cavalier, with almost All-Plasencia Tobacco from my understanding. And then on top of that, it was aged 3 years in the, you guessed it, the Privada Culas, in the word of Bobby Boucher. So apparently this thing has been released before, and this is the now anniversary edition, which has the 3rd year band release on the footband here. It's got Viso Jalapa Nicaraguan wrapper, Honduran habano binder, and Honduran Nicaragua and Paraguayan fillers. The name Oddjob, obviously an homage to the 007 villain Oddjob. Pretty cool little name there. But you guys know there's only one way to find out what this cigar tastes like. You know what we got to do.
We got to cut light in?
Smoke. Now, this isn't the first time I've smoked this cigar. And I've got to be honest. There's a lot of stuff from Plasencia that I've smoked, and it hasn't been my most favorite cigars on the planet. I'll be really honest. I didn't enjoy the Almafuerte. And that's a cigar that people really enjoy. But this thing is really good. Right at first light, you get this rich, toasty, almost like graham crackery breadiness with like a cinnamony kind of spice to it. Really unique right at the first light. Yeah, just an absolute pleasant retrohale. A little bit of some breadiness, some sweetness, a little bit of nuttiness. Just a very balanced smoke at first light. I mean, just the right amount of like a cinnamony kind of spicy twinge, the right amount of sweetness, the right amount of creaminess, and it's still producing a lot of smoke. Little bit of tingle on the retrohale. Little bit kind of hangs on the back of the palate. It's a very tasty cigar. And I mean, you get to smoke through gold flake. Wonder how much that weighs in ounces of gold if you just scraped it all off, if you got a whole box of them. Wonder if you would get some of your money back. This cigar is just right up my alley as far as my palate goes. Very enjoyable so far. Just like, it literally is the perfect balance of like a spiciness, a little bit of that earthiness, some breadiness. Very tasty so far. I almost don't even want to drink my coffee. That's how tasty it is. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, the LCAs by Privada are the Limited Cigar Association cigars that they make and they send out to brick and mortar retailers. This is not something that's allowed to be sold online. These monthly reviews that I do, usually the first Friday of every month of their LCA cigars, the LCA and LCA Plus, are typically only sold at local brick and mortars. They're not something that you're going to find online. And me, as somebody who obviously has a brick and mortar, it's a really neat opportunity to bring in a small quantity of a limited cigar that only releases every so often or may only be released that one time. It's kind of a really unique way to bring something different in for people to try and to experience and to enjoy without bringing in like a whole line of cigars. It's fun. It keeps things light, keeps things interesting. People ask about it on a monthly basis. Hey, what's new? What'd you think of the new ones this month? Are they worth smoking? And of course, usually the answer is yes. But that's what I've really enjoyed about these. And it's really kind of cool. It kind of sucks for you guys that I do these reviews for, because you're like, okay, where do I get those? Yeah, I like what they're doing. And there's something new coming from Privada that is going to be released to the LCAs that they've already kind of talked about, called the Purple People Eater. And that one will be available on websites. So I'm going to step away and smoke this down a little bit more. I'll come back to you guys when I get to about the gold flake there. And in the meantime, enjoy this little cigar review inception while I add the review of the LCA Plus cigar by Chico Rivieras, the Baja Blast. Be right back. What's up, everybody? I'm coming to you mid-review of that Oddjob for this month's LCA by Privada Cigar Club to talk a little bit about the LCA Plus for the month of February by Chico Rivieras that they're calling the Baja Blast. Look, I gotta be seriously honest. When I hear citrus in a cigar, I think maybe 3 or 4 cigars I've ever actually tasted citrus in. When you smoke this cigar and you retrohale it on the finish of the retrohale, you get a hint of why they call it the Baja Blast. There is a definite hint of citrus with some sweetness. It's a super unique cigar. If you ever smoke Dominican cigars and you're like, they're too light for me, I promise this is not too light. It is the perfect blend of sweet and spicy with a medium to full-bodied cigar with tons of flavor in it. It's a very enjoyable cigar. And when you smoke it, whether this label was on it or not, you do actually get some citrus on the back end. Now, I'm going to start doing this more often on the LCA and LCA Plus with Privada. Every month, you'll start seeing a review within a review, because most of the time, these LCA Plus cigars, which I don't have to bring in with the LCAs, it's just an extra cigar that I can bring in with the LCAs. Because a lot of times, you'll hear me talk about the LCA Plus cigar on the LCA video, but just as a thought. So I figured I'd catch you mid-review, mid-smoke, and tell you how much I'm enjoying this Baja Blast by Chico de Vieres and Privada Cigar Club. Let's get back to the Oddjob. All right, so we're back with the February LCA from Privada Cigar Club, which is brought to you by Cavalier Cigars and made mostly with Plasencia Tobacco and some Paraguayan, which is really interesting. And, something unique about the Cavalier cigars, man, that they just do so different is, man, smoking through that gold flake. It's just so cool and something super unique to do. And, this cigar is really balanced. It does get a little bit more of that spice, gets a little bit more leather and a little bit more of that dark, rich, earthy cocoa as you go down the cigar. I also would say I don't ever really notice that the gold flake seems to ever really change the flavor of the cigar at all, at least from what I could tell. But this is a very, very good cigar. And I also hope you guys enjoyed the review within a review of the Chico. But this LCA it's one of my favorites so far. I really loved the Turducken. That's probably been my favorite so far. That was a really good stick. This one I would say is probably my close second. And then, that Baja Blast, I really enjoyed that cigar too, actually. That was a fun cigar to smoke. But that's been the Oddjob, year number 3. By Privada Cigar Club for the LCAs. And with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Catch you like last year. Peace.